This is Prabha Verma here with my next video of class 9th on the topic factorization of polynomials. Now coming down to polynomials and its factorization, you have two types of factorization in class 9th. Over here I'm going to deal with both of them today. In the first case, I have written a degree 2 polynomial, that is 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0. Whenever you're given a degree 2 polynomial and you're asked to factorize it, it means you have to find its factors, right? Now, how do you know how many factors a particular polynomial is going to get? So the degree decides as to how many factors you're going to get. Now, since this is a degree 2 polynomial, you will get 2 factors. If it is a degree 3 polynomial, you will get 3 factors. So ultimately the degree of the polynomial decides as to how many factors you are going to get. Now coming down to the method of splitting the middle term, to solve or factorize a degree 2 polynomial, we use the method of splitting the middle term. The first step, as always in polynomials, is to arrange the polynomial in the standard form. So I have written over here 2x square minus 5x plus 3 equal to 0, the highest power, then the next power, and then the constant term. Now for splitting the middle term, what you have to do after this is that you have to take the constant term along with the sign. If there is a minus sign, you take a minus sign. If there is a plus sign, you take the plus sign. You take the constant term and you multiply it by the number which is sitting with x square. So over here with x square, I have 2. In fact, I call 2 as the coefficient of x square. So I multiply the constant term with the coefficient of x square. Again over here, if you have a minus sign, you take into that minus sign also over here. So 3 into 2 gives me 6. Now what I have to do next is, I have to find factors of the 6. That means if I write 1 over here and 6 over here, I get 1 into 6, 6. Similarly, minus 1 minus 6 also gives me 6. 2 into 3 also gives me 6, and minus 2 into minus 3 also gives me 6. Now here I have got 4 possibilities of factors of this number 6. Now out of these 4, only one is going to be applicable in this particular question. Now how do you decide that? Out of these 4 factors, pairs of factors that I have written over here, you have to take that factor which on multiplication gives me this number and which when on adding gives me the middle number. That means out of these, if I take 1 and 6, suppose, when I multiply 1 and 6, I am getting 6, no doubt. But when I am adding them, 1 plus 6 gives me 7, whereas I require minus 5. So I rule out this. This is not applicable. Next is minus 1 minus 6. I multiply them, again I get 6. But when I add them, I am getting minus sign. I require minus 5. So I rule out this also. The third case is 2 and 3. On multiplying them, I am again getting 6. On adding them, I am getting plus 5. I require a minus 5. So even this is not acceptable. Now the last one left over here with me is minus 2 minus 3. When I am multiplying them, I am getting 6. Minus 2 into minus 3 gives me plus 6. And when I am adding them, I am getting minus 5. So this is my required pair of factors. So coming back to my question, what do I do after this? I rewrite it as 2x square. I split the middle term using these 2 factors. So I get minus 2x minus 3x plus 3 equal to 0. Is that clear? I have used these 2 factors to split my middle term and I have written it as minus 2 and minus 3x. I give both of them x. Now I pair up these 2 and I make a pair of these 2. Between the first 2 terms, I take out common. Between the first 2 terms, 2x is common. So I write 2x, x minus 1. And between these 2 terms, minus 3 will come out common. So I get x minus 1 equal to 0. Now what you have to remember over here is that in all questions of splitting the middle term, this bracket and this bracket should always come same. If they are not coming same, you have made a mistake somewhere in solving the question. I repeat again, both these brackets have to come exactly same. Now between this first term and the second term, again I have x minus 1 common. So I take out x minus 1 common, and from the first term I am left with 2x. From here I am left with 3. I get it as 0. So I have factorized this into two factors. As I told you earlier, this has two factors because it is a degree 2 polynomial. So it has two factors, x minus 1 and 2x minus 3. Of course, if I have to find the value of x, what will I do? X minus 1 equal to 0 I'll put. So I'll get x equal to 1. 2x minus 3 equal to 0 I'll put. So I get x equal to 3 by 2, and they both are the zeros of this particular polynomial. They are the zeros of this particular polynomial. Now this is the first part. This is the first part of solving this. That is where you have to find the factors or factorize a degree 2 polynomial. If the question just says factorize, you will leave it till this step. That means where you have found out two factors, you will leave it till here. But if it further says find the zeros, then you find these zeros or the roots of this polynomial. Now this I have explained for a degree 2 polynomial. Now if I have a degree 3 polynomial, obviously I am not going to apply splitting the middle term over there. I have to use some other method. Now to explain that further, if I take a question, I come down to the next term, that is factorizing a degree 3 polynomial. So suppose I have something as px equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 3x plus 10. Now this is a degree 3 polynomial. The first step is you will name your polynomial, and I'm going to factorize it using the factor theorem. The question might tell in the exam as factorize, or it will say factorize using factor theorem. Either of the cases you have to use the factor theorem. So the first step is you write or give the name to your polynomial and you arrange it in the standard form: highest power, next power, then the next power, and lastly the constant term. After that, what I have to do? I have to take the constant term. When I say constant, it doesn't have any x multiplied to it. I write all its factors. I write all the factors of 10. That means the first step is you write all the factors of this constant term. So 10 has factors as plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 5, and plus minus 10. What I mean to say factors, that means this 10 is divisible by all these numbers 1, 2, 5 and 10, taking into consideration both the plus and the minus sign. So I have written how many factors over here? 2 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This 10 has 8 factors. Now as I told in splitting the middle term of a degree 2 polynomial, if it is a degree 2 polynomial, you will get 2 factors. Since it is a degree 3 polynomial, you are going to get 3 factors. First step is take the constant term, write all its factors. Now out of these 8 factors that I have written, only 3 are the zeros of this particular polynomial. Now how do you check that? To find the first factor, we use the hit and trial method. Hit and trial method. What do I mean by that? I choose any one factor from this. It is my choice which factor I want to choose. Suppose I take 1. So let x equal to 1. It is my choice which factor I want to take. I take this x equal to 1 and place it over here. So I get p of 1 equal to 1 cube minus 6 into 1 square plus 3 into 1 plus 10. I solve it. I get 1 minus 6 plus 3 plus 10. 10 plus 3, 13. 13 plus 1, 14. 14 minus 6 gives me 8. Right? Now what have we done, or I have done in my previous video, was that for any number to be a factor, you should get your answer as 0. That means this is not a factor of this given polynomial because you are not getting the answer as 0. So you will write over here, since px p1 not equal to 0, since p1 not equal to 0, therefore x equal to 1 is not a 0 of px, right? Or I can say the same thing in another way by saying that I can say it in the same way as x minus 1 is not a factor of px, right? Just for your information, I rewrite the polynomial again. It was x cube minus 6x square plus 3x plus 10. So out of those 8 factors, I tried with 1. I did not get my answer as 0. Next I take let p equal to let x equal to minus 1. So p of minus 1 becomes minus 1 whole cube minus 6 minus 1 whole square plus 3 into minus 1 plus 10. So when I solve it, I get minus 1, minus 6, minus 3 plus 10. That gives me 6, minus 6, minus 3, minus 9, and minus 1, minus 10. So minus 10 plus 10 gives me 0. So what will this mean? This implies x plus 1 is a factor of px. Why is it a factor? Because when you put, I told you earlier also, if you have a minus here, it will become a plus here. If you have a plus here, it will become a minus here. You always take the opposite sign when you write the factor. Because p of minus 1 was giving you a 0, so x plus 1 becomes a factor of px. Now I had told you in my previous video, if I say one polynomial is a factor of another polynomial, it means on performing the process of long division, you should get the remainder as 0. The same logic is applicable over here also. So that means if I say x plus 1 is a factor of this px, so when I divide this px by this x plus 1, I should get the remainder as 0. So the first step was finding the 4 factors, all the factors of the constant term. The second step was finding the first factor by the method of hit and trial. Now I am coming to the third step. Once I have found out my one factor, you will find out one factor, whatever it is. Once I find my first factor, I come to the third step. The third step is of long division. So I divide my polynomial by this first factor. So I get x cube minus 6x square plus 3x plus 10. I start dividing. X square, I get x cube minus x square minus plus, I get this is plus x square, so this becomes minus. So I get minus 7x square plus 3x plus 10. Right? This is a minus sign. Next I write over here minus 7x. So I get minus 7x square minus 7x. I again change the sign. This gets cancelled out. So I get 10x plus 10. And lastly it is plus 10. So I get 10x plus 10, I change the sign, I get 0. What you have to remember is, after you have found out the first factor, whenever you perform the process of long division, your remainder will always come as 0. If you are not getting a 0, you have made a mistake somewhere. So after doing this step, I am going to use your basic division algorithm. That means dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. So my dividend was px. So px equal to divisor was x plus 1 into the quotient is x square minus 7x plus 10, and my remainder is 0. This you have already learned with numbers, that dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. I leave my first factor as it is. Now the second factor is a degree 2 polynomial. So I factorize it by the method of splitting the middle term. So I'll get x square minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. This becomes x plus 1. I get x into x minus 5 minus 2 into x minus 5. So I get x plus 1. Here I take out x minus 5 common. I get x minus 2. So my final answer becomes x plus 1, x minus 2, x minus 5. I have factorized my given polynomial into 3 factors. As I told you earlier, since it is a degree 2 polynomial, I will get 3 factors. When I say you will get 3 brackets all multiplied with each other. That means it is a degree 3 polynomial, so you get 3 brackets. If you have a degree 4 polynomial, you get 4 brackets. So I very quickly recapitulate the entire process. The first step was you'll be given a polynomial, you write it in the standard form. Then you find all the factors of the constant term. Out of all these factors, you pick up any one. I picked up x equal to 1. I put it in px, I solved it. If I get a 0, that becomes a factor. If I don't get a 0, it doesn't become a factor. So since p of 1 was not giving me a 0, therefore x minus 1 was not a factor of the given polynomial. Next, what did I do? I took another number, x equal to minus 1. I again put it in my polynomial, I solved it, I got the answer as 0. Since I got the answer as 0, therefore x plus 1. I told you earlier also, whatever the sign over here, when you write the factor, you get the opposite sign. So since it was a minus sign here, I wrote a plus sign over here. So you get x plus 1 is a factor of px. Third step is you divide your given polynomial by this first factor which you have found out. Whenever you divide this, you will always get the remainder as 0. And the last step is you will rewrite it using the division algorithm, which states that dividend equal to divisor into the quotient plus the remainder. So I put the values here. Then again I get a degree 2 polynomial over here. I have solved it by splitting the middle term. I got 2 factors from here, and finally I got 3 factors. It's a degree 3 polynomial, so I got 3 factors for it. This is an important question from the point of view of the exams. You get a 4 marker question out of factorizing a degree 3 polynomial using the factor theorem. And it requires a lot of practice so that you do not end up making errors. Thank you.